Alright, here's another one. I guess we're going into like these men versus women type scenarios today. Alright, wheat waffles. Avoid 5 reasons never to use online dating as a man. I mean, look, I know guys that literally all they did with, but again, this is like when it just like what's called that Tinder just started off, and there was like no limits on swiping and all that shit. And a guy I know, all he did was he would swipe right on every girl, literally every girl, and every girl that swiped right on him. By the way, this guy is like at 2 out of 10. Like he really did not look good, but like, hey, fuck it, whatever, right? So he just swiped right on everyone, and whoever he matched with, he just wrote DTF. That's it. That's all he did, man. He got laid pretty often, but again, no standards. He would fuck anything that moves, and I don't agree with that. But anyways, yeah, let's go. When I'm craving validation, so I re-download Tinder, use it for 3 days, plan 382 dates, and then ghost them all. See what I mean by guys are fucking idiots, man. Why are you so needy for pussy? Jesus Christ, bro. She's not even good looking. Look at those teeth. She's overweight. Like, oh my god, bro. Of course she needs validation, bro. In real life, she's not getting any. Oh my god, bro.
The graph you can see on your screen right now
ugly on the outside, ugly on the inside.
Depiction between the difference in value of men and women on online dating apps. If you're a male 7, you have equal value to a female 3.
This is very similar to the hot chick, crazy chick graph. That's like it's a bit more less skewed. It's a bit more straight.
Why is this? Well, in this video, I'm going to be giving you 5 reasons for why men need to stay away from dating apps at all costs. The game is rigged, guys. The game is rigged. And the only winning move in a rigged game
is not to participate. But honestly, look, life is rigged, man. It doesn't matter if it's online or if it's in person. If you're a very good-looking man, you don't have to put as much effort into anything in order to get what you want. Like it's like not like profession-wise, and sometimes profession-wise too. But like when it comes to relationships, yeah, a good-looking man will get hit on in a restaurant by girls. Like it is what it is.
Is to simply not play. Reason number 1. Male outnumbering.
100%.
There's way too many men on online dating apps, guys.
100%.
Way too many. This chart you can see on your screen right now shows a percentage split between
Jesus
men and
Christ,
women
bro.
on Tinder.
Wait. How many of these men are also looking for men, though? Probably they're on Grindr, but whatever.
It's the world's biggest
I know there's an option.
by far. And this chart on the right shows a split for Bumble,
Yeah.
Tinder's close rival. Both paint a similar picture.
Bumble,
Unsurprisingly, there are way more men than women on these dating apps. 3 for 1 on Tinder and 2 for 1 on Bumble. So already, this information should be telling you that the system is a little bit skewed unfairly
Just
against men. But what's even worse is when you break these numbers down further. Let's take a closer look at just who these matches are going to. On your screen right now is a representative 200 people. I'll use this example to explain my
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10.
point about just how unfair these dating apps are. So, as we've already established, there is not an even 50-50 split of men to women, rather a 3 to 1 ratio. That leaves 150 men and 50 women.
Nice.
Let's also put everyone in order, so the most attractive guys at the top and the least attractive guys at the bottom. Well, according to
Feel bad for these 3. I'm pretty sure they're like YouTubers or something. He just straight up called some people ugly as fuck.
match data, the top 10% of guys, that's this row up here,
I get
gets
90%.
a staggering 60% of the total
Only
matches.
60.
Now,
Not
if
more.
you're a guy at the top, this is looking pretty good. It works
yeah,
out you're
100%.
at a 2 times advantage. For every guy on this level, he has 2 women chasing him.
Nice.
Now let's move further down, for the guys in the second 10%. These are your top 20% guys, or 1 in 5 men. They get 20% of the matches.
Really?
Now, you might think this still sounds great, but in reality, things are already terrible at this level. There are 3 guys competing for every 2 girls here.
This is
So
like
even if you're a
the
top
this is
20
like the 80 to 90 percenters, by the way. Like this is like the 8s and the 9s, not the 10s.
percent guy, you're still at a disadvantage. And to make matters even worse, for the guys at this level, even the options they do have are subpar and low quality. By the time the top 10% has had their picks, you're left with the below average options. This is why it's no exaggeration when I showed you that chart at the beginning. In an online environment, male 7s are equal to female 3s. Just look at how far you're having to date down even as a top 20% guy. But still, this is nothing compared to how bad the rest of us have it. This is how many matches the whole of the bottom 80% of guys
41.
gets. Just the last 20%. And even just looking at the size of the boxes, it's clear to see why non-top tier men don't stand a chance. Breaking this down further, if you're in the 20 to 50% zone, these are what would often be labelled as above average guys. Most men either rightfully or wrongfully assume they're in this category and feel good about themselves because of it. But
so to make this a bit clear, okay, so the 9 to 10s, like the top 10%, they would match with all of them, but these guys will only choose the average and above, basically. These guys will try to match with all of these, but in reality, the average and above will not accept them, or will not swipe on them, or not go out with them. Only these ones will. And these ones, they can get what no one wants them, but it's like no one else has a choice here.
even if you are in this category, you don't stand a chance online, as your whole subsection is competing for just the bottom 15% of matches. There is a 6-to-1 competition from men to women for these so-called above average guys. Now let's take a look at the bottom 50%, or what I like to call the dead zone. This includes any man who is perfectly average or below. If you fall into this category, you may assume there has been an error in displaying your profile, as you're all competing for just the last 5% of matches, which equates to a shocking 30-to-1 ratio of men to women. All of this data combined shows just how unfair online dating is for even above average guys. Additionally, 100% of women are better off, as it gives them massive opportunity to date men of higher value than themselves. Guys, this first reason...
So, I know there would be people who will look at this, not to call names, but let's say someone like Philion, and he would be like, what do you mean higher value? What do you mean high value men, high value women? How do you count? Whatever. It's everyone knows what you mean. Everyone knows what the higher value means. I'm not talking alpha, beta, and all that shit. This is higher value on looks, right? And it's everyone knows that first impressions are based on looks. There's no argument here. You look at a girl, she's hot or she's not. And based on that you decide if you're gonna go approach or not. It's you don't need to think about it too hard.
Alone.
I just know some people would oh, this guy's talking about values. Yeah, look wise, okay?
Enough to show you why dating apps are almost always going to be working against you. But I've got another 4 reasons to get through.
Unless you're here. Unless you're right there.
But quickly, now I've got this crucial reason out the way, now is a good time to press a like button
that's just the
and
one.
leave any thoughts you have in the comments below, as it helps the YouTube algorithm. Anyway, carrying on to the next reason for why men should never use dating apps. Number 2, abysmal quality. Guys, if you thought the quantity of matches was bad, just wait until you see the quality.
That's the other thing, honestly. If you are looking for that amazing looking girl takes care of stuff like that, rarely would you find her on Tinder, because she doesn't need to be on Tinder aside from hassling, not hassling, aside from just baiting people. There's no reason for an actually hot, attractive girl with that, the ones you want, the ones you see on Dan Bilzerian's Instagram, right? The ones that's the super high quality, esque, right? Supermodels, all that shit. They don't go on Tinder, man. They don't need to.
A couple of videos ago, I said the holy trinity of female attractiveness was hot, young, and undamaged. Well, if you
Doesn't
are online
exist.
dating, expect to match with the worst of the worst in regards to all of these categories. We'll start with undamaged. I guarantee, if you go on these dating apps, the women there are going to be on average more entitled, promiscuous,
Yeah.
and overall a lower quality than any of the high quality women you meet in real life.
Yep.
I mean, what are they doing on dating apps anyway? Are there no high quality men available in their own social circle?
Of course not.
Additionally, expect to encounter dozens of
Oh
single mothers
god.
looking for you to provide resources for their child.
32 single mom of 2 kids, they are my entire world. I'm looking for someone that can make me laugh and eat tacos with. If you can't quote the movie Step Brothers with me, we probably can't be friends. Must be willing to lie to our families about how we met. We can say anything but on Tinder. Jesus Christ, bro.
On these dating apps. Now taking a look at hot. Guys, I've been on Tinder. It's almost as if 3 out of every 4 profiles falls into one of the following categories.
Bait.
Caked in makeup, overweight,
Yep.
excessive use of filters so you
Yeah.
can't even see their face properly, pictures taken from angles that hide flaws. This is why, even if you do match with a woman and overcome the ridiculous odds of actually landing a date with her, there's probably a strong chance she's going to be significantly less attractive in real life compared to her photos. Now for the last corner, young.
Actually true. I've been there. Actually big true. I think I had in total around 10 Tinder dates. Oh god. It's like I didn't learn from the first Tinder date, let's just say it like that. Like yeah, it's not. Well, I think only one of them actually looked very similar to how she did on Tinder, and it wasn't like they were not using filters back then. Like this is like years ago. I haven't used Tinder in like 4 or 5 years. So it's a very long time ago. And yeah, I think there was only one, and the only reason she looked different is basically just the camera angle. She didn't really hide flaws. It's just like the angle and the lighting was just a lot better and a lot more complimenting than anything else. And it's like there were no filters or anything like that, but definitely when you meet her, you're like, because like you go on the date, you arrive there early, and you're like you keep checking out her Tinder, not necessarily for messages, but it's like kind of remind yourself what she looks like, and it's like you kind of always have like a slight disappointment. Like the pictures never are always too flattering compared to the reality.
And it's a similar story with attractiveness. If you match with a woman who's 25 to 35 years old, there's a strong chance she's used photos on her profile that are at least 3 to 6 years younger than her current age, which obviously were taken at a time when she was more attractive. So again, when you go to meet her in real life, you'll find she's far less attractive than she was claiming to be on her profile.
That's a bit much, but
so just a quick recap. So far, we've established that not only the quantity on these dating apps is shocking, but the quality is too. Anyway, next point. Reason number 3. Looks is everything when it comes to these online dating apps. And I mean everything. Don't let anyone fool
can you imagine if these two guys were actually the same guy? Just like makeup and like shit put on their face or something?
Anything else matters. If somebody wrote an article about the top 10 most important things that matter in online dating, if all 10 spots weren't about your looks, I'd assume the person who wrote the piece has never even used online dating apps before. Bios don't matter, guys. They just don't matter. This study proves it. Here, they are...
Nothing reels in the ladies like a funny Tinder bio. Jesus Christ. Oh god. Let's see, personality score, looks score. Okay, get ready for looks versus personality. The higher the... Oh, okay. The higher the looks, the higher the personality. Yeah, makes sense.
Ask women to rate male dating profiles in 2 categories. 1, the guy's looks, which obviously would be measured by his pictures, and 2, personality, which would be measured by his bio and partially his photos too. And as we can see from the study, Your looks is your personality.
Yeah.
Bios have no noticeable effect in improving your chances. In fact, the only time your bio has any relevance is when it's also to do with your looks. The number one thing a guy can put in his bio that increases his chances is the term 6 foot. This shows even your bio, which is supposed to be all about your personality, still points back to looks. These things are now just becoming way too predictable. Anyway, next point. Number 4, the algorithm scam.
Okay.
How these apps literally steal your money without you even realizing it.
Okay.
For those who don't know, Tinder has an algorithm. This is what determines where your profile is shown in the card stack. No, your profile is not shown at random. It has a specific order amongst all the other guys' profiles. So some profiles are always shown first, some profiles are always shown last.
Oh, interesting. I knew it wasn't like completely random, but like to this extent, damn.
What are the factors that affect where your profile is placed? Well, how popular your profile is. If women aren't swiping right on you, the algorithm deems you as unwanted material. Therefore, your profile is suppressed.
You would think, honestly, Tinder, because it's trying to like help people hook up. Obviously, it's trying to make money, more importantly, but like it's trying to help people hook up. It's the ones who get no popularity. You would put them at the front to keep trying and push for their popularity, right? So that's, I think the algorithm should do the exact opposite, because like. But again, I guess it sucks for money-wise, because then it's like a lot of people will be like, oh, I only get ugly guys. Like, I fuck this app. It's like there are only ugly guys here, I guess.
And secondly, the rate at which you yourself swipe right. The algorithm punishes desperate people, guys. Don't be swiping right on every girl you see. You will only shadow ban your profile. These are the two main factors. There are a few others of less importance, but you'll have to do your own research on that. Anyway, the point is, if your profile scores poorly in these two things, your profile will be shoved right at the bottom beneath everyone else's. So, how is this a scam? Well, these dating apps provide no information on where your profile is ranked, or if you've been shadow banned, which basically means your profile has been made permanent.
Would you want to know your rank? Though, if you're not in the top 10%, would you really want to know your rank? Just be discouraged. Even if you are in the top 10%, would you want to know your rank?
Invisible without your knowledge. Therefore, this means if you purchase premium packages such as Boost or Platinum, they will have no impact on your profile.
Oh, wow.
Since it's already been hidden.
Yeah.
Any number multiplied by 0 is 0.
Is 0, yeah.
If you're already getting 0 matches, purchasing boosts isn't going to help you. Reason number 5, the entitlement switch. I'm going to be honest with you guys. In today's dating market, it feels as soon as women get on online dating apps, it's like a switch flips for them. And the standards they used to hold in the real world multiply tenfold. As soon as women log on to Tinder, it's like their standards turn into none other than Chad only.
Why is he?
Here's the truth
Why is he
online dating.
choking her?
90% of women would not swipe on themselves if they were a man.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile, 90% of guys would swipe on themselves if they were a woman. I've seen it all, guys. You get overweight women who will never swipe right on an overweight man. Short women who would never swipe right on short men. Asian women who would never swipe right on Asian men. These dating apps have only exacerbated the standards women are now holding for guys.
Yep.
You must now
Good.
tick all the boxes.
I honestly, dude, I think it's a good thing. I actually think it's a good thing, because like these women are so damaged already. You would rather have them not reproduce at this point. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. If you can't figure it out and you stay on Tinder trying to find your man, and you're like you're entitled and shit, honestly, less of you continuing to reproduce, the better. Straight up. No fucking mercy, man. Like, we don't want you in society.
In real life, expect them to be 10 times higher when they're on online dating apps.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the video, guys. And these are the 5 reasons why men should never use online dating apps. there are far better alternatives.
The thing is, again, if you're like a top 10% man, you also don't need dating apps, right? Like the whole dating app really was supposed to help like guys hook up with girls who usually they would have a harder time finding, right? And maybe help girls as well. But let's be real, based on the demographic, you know it's supposed to help guys more. But here's the thing: the top 10% would never, ever really have that problem unless they're like extremely shy for some reason, right? It's like, you know, kind of like you grew up ugly, and then it's like as you grew up, you became like a fucking Chad, like Giga Chad or whatever, and you're just like every girl now wants you, but like you still don't understand that you're hot, kind of thing. So those guys maybe, but I feel like they wouldn't need it. It's literally like the only people who really need these are people who are like gonna have a very hard time finding a partner in real life. Like me. Anyways, that's the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.